Hello everyone, welcome to my channel CAD and Engineering by JS. Today we're going to review the move and rotate commands in Autocad. Let's start with the move command. The shortcut for this command is the letter M, and this command, as the name shows, is used to relocate or move objects from their current location to any other specified location. The steps are very similar between many of these modified commands. You have to start by activating the command, then you select the object or objects that you want to move. Then you have to press enter to finish the selection. After that, you select a base point from the one you're going to move the object, and then you have to specify the second point where you want this object to be moved to. Now we're going to open AutoCAD and practice with this object that we have on the screen. We're going to move it 5 units to the right at a 25-degree angle. Let's begin by using the move command in an interactive way, meaning you're going to select a point, base point from the object, and then click somewhere in the graphic window where you want to move this object to. So we're going to start by activating the command, which is located in the second panel, the modify panel, and is the first one all the way up to the left. So we're going to click on the command move, and we're going to follow the prompts. So the first prompt is to select the objects. So I'm going to make a window around the object. After that, I'm going to press enter, and the selection is finished. The next prompt asks us to specify the base point. I'm going to specify, let's say, this corner, the lower left corner. I have all snap on if you look in the status bar. So the endpoint option is one of the running all snaps that I have. So I'm going to select the base point, and after that I just move my mouse, and with it you can see the object moves. And then whenever I need this object to be moved to, I'm going to click again, and it moved. Let's continue now and use all snap to move this object. For example, I want to move this object from the midpoint of the top line to the 270-degree quadrant. So I'm going to start the command again by pressing enter, selecting the object, press enter to finish the selection. As a base point, I'm going to use the endpoint. This object was built using the mirror command. That's why this is an endpoint of the line. Click, and then I'm just going to move over and use snap over right, press the control key, right mouse click, and select quadrant. And I'm going to move down here, and this is where I want this object to be moved to. Click, and we have another example of how to use the move command with all snap. We're going to use the move command with the dynamic input and direct entry. For example, let's say we want to move this object 5 units to the right. So I'm going to make sure that I have ortho mode on, and then I'm going to pre-select the object first, and then when I click on the move command, it goes right away and asks you to specify the base point. I'm selecting the base point, click, and after that I'm just going to move to the right and type in the distance 5. And there is my object moved to the right 5 units using dynamic input. Finally, let's use relative polar coordinates to move this object 5 units to the right at 25 degrees. I'm going to start by selecting all the objects. This way I save at least one step in the process, then click Move, select the base point, and then move my object by typing in 5 and the angle 25 and pressing enter, and my object was moved 5 units to the right at 25 degrees. Now that we have reviewed the move command, it's going to be a lot easier to work with the rotate command because they're very similar. The shortcut for the rotate command, it's RO, and this command allows us to rotate objects to any position. The steps are very similar to the move command. You activate the command, then you select the objects using any of the selection methods that you're familiar with. Then you have to press enter to indicate that the object selection is complete. Then you select the base point, which is the point you're going to rotate all these objects about. And then you have to specify the rotation angle. There's an option called reference, and in this case it allows you to select or specify an angle by selecting let's say a line, and then entering the new angle that is going to be measured as absolute angle from the selected reference. So let's open AutoCAD and show some examples where I'm going to demonstrate how to use the rotate command. We're going to rotate the object shown on the screen 45 degrees about the center of this circle, diameter 0.38. Let's illustrate how to use the rotate command. We're going to start by activating the command, clicking on the icon, which is the second one in the modify panel. Click on it, and let's follow the prompt. The first one is asking us to select the objects, so we're going to make a window and select all the objects, and then we're going to press enter to finish the selection. Now it's asking us to select the base point. We're going to use the center. I have all snap, and the center option is one of the running all snap, so I'm going to hover over and select the center, and after that I'm just going to type in the angle. See how the program is asking you to specify the rotation angle. I'm going to type in 45 degrees and press enter, and the angle object was rotated 45 degrees. Now in the second example here, we're going to, instead of entering the value, you could use the power tracking. Let's say I want to use the option where the angle is 45 degrees, which is the one that is pre-selected. So instead of entering the value, I'm going to use polar tracking for my rotation angle. Let's start the command again. Click on the rotate icon, select all the objects, press enter to finish the selection, select the base point, and after that you can start moving your mouse, and you will see how Autocad is going to snap to those angles in our polar tracking. In this case it's a 45-degree increment, so I'm going to move up, and you will see how it is snapping to 45 degrees. In this case I just had to press to click and finish the rotation of the object. Now let's try the reference option. So let's start the rotate command. I'm going to type in RO and press enter. Select the objects, press enter to finish the selection, select the base point, and after that I'm going to click on the word reference. And what I want to do is I want this line that is vertical to be horizontal. So I'm going to click on 2 points to specify. As you can see, the first prompt was specify the reference angle. So I click on the first point, and now the prompt is asking to specify the second point to determine that angle. And now the rotation, I want it to be 0 degrees. 0, type in 0 and press enter. And my object was rotated using the reference option. And finally, the option rotate copy, which is very useful if you want to rotate an object, keep the original, and have a copy of that object. In this case, let's rotate and copy this object minus 90 degrees. Let's start the command again, rotate, follow the prompt, selecting the objects, press enter to finish the selection, then click to select the base point, which is the center of these circles. And now we're going to click on the copy option. And then we have to specify the rotation angle. I want it to go clockwise, so I'm going to type in minus 90 and press enter. As you can see now, I have that object not only rotated, but I have a copy. I left the original, and I have the copy that I needed or wanted rotated 90 degrees. I'm leaving you with a very simple exercise. In this case, you need to draw the figure on the left on the screen and then use only the move and rotate commands to construct the figure on the right. Try it. Let me know if you have any questions. We can always solve this simple problem in our next video. Let me know your comments and questions. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.